Today is the day that I would like to finish the little out rail extension that we're making for the bump to bar obstacle, but I do want to address one thing for legal reasons. All of the new lighting that we did in the shop is officially up to code. All right, insurance company, do you guys hear me loud and clear? Not last video, but the video before, we went through and redid all the lighting in there. We replaced all of the old outdated fluorescent bulbs and ballasts with these super nice powerful LED high bay lights on this side, and then just LED bulbs that are brighter on this side. In that video, we left a couple things as placeholders, as I like to put it. For example, instead of that junction box being there, there were just some exposed wires dangling from the ceiling. And then same here, that junction box didn't even have a cover. Same with that one over there. People were commenting, being like, oh, insurance company's gonna love this video if something ever goes wrong. So I'm filming this for legal reasons to prove that everything is now done properly accordingly to fire code up here. All right, okay, now that that's out of the way. This is where we left off. We got everything cut and, you know, grinded down and prepped for welding, made sure everything was the right length. Oh, I think, and I've learned to not say this, but I'm saying this anyway, I think we can wrap it up today. All I have to do is add these little, you know, what are we calling these, insert pieces to the legs that we made. We're gonna have to cut these out on the CNC table and really hope that I still have the file for it. And then these are just that smaller diameter tube that I should still have left over. Since building the plasma table, this is the longest that I've gone not using it. I really thought it was gonna be kind of similar to riding a bike where, you know, once I learn it, it all just comes back to me. I forget everything. I have a checklist on my phone that I gotta go through to make sure I do this all right. Turn the plasma cutter on. I gotta turn the, oh, I gotta fill it up with water. I haven't even done that yet. All right. Oh, I definitely ran that over. Whoops. Hopefully that stays in there. We will turn this. Oh, I forgot that thing squirts me. I gotta replace this whole hose. While that is filling up, we will turn on the air compressor, and because it's not the nicest noise, I'll just see you when that's done. All right, there we have it. Air is compressed. We are sending it to the plasma cutter under there. We have the laptop set up with the file that I believe is the right one. Got our material loaded up onto the table that is full of water. The plasma cutter is on and set to the right amps. I think that's everything. It's crazy how much I forgot in the time that I haven't used everything here. Damn, okay, I mean, we're doing a test first. Of course, we can't forget our handy dandy mad scientist goggles that Jordan gifted us. I still haven't got that haircut that I've been talking about for weeks now. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why I'm going into this so unconfident, but we're just doing one to sort of see what happens. There we go, let's see. It looks like it's doing it. Maybe we did it right. Okay, maybe I remembered more than I thought. Honestly, I just don't even remember if this was the right file, because this is supposed to fit right over the smaller diameter tube, not the 2-inch. Okay, so here's the smaller one. This is what's gonna telescope into the 2-inch, kind of like that. Right? Come on, baby, tell me this was the right one. Woo! Look at that fit. It was the right one. Cool. I'm gonna cut one more of these and I think we're good. And take two. I forgot how cool that thing is to watch. What a cool machine. Damn, I missed this thing. Got both of those cut out, and what I'm gonna do now is just delete that inner ring, the one that cuts out in the middle there, because if you check out our beautiful drawing here, these two legs need that sleeved locking mechanism, which is why we had to do that whole cutout thing. This one though just rests flush on the ground, so we don't need that hole in it. I saved that as bump to bar rail foot, no hole. We're gonna open that up. You can see it's just a circle. We're gonna cut that out and we're good to go. Nice. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to ground the workpiece. That ground clamp is supposed to be on the sheet metal, the material itself. It worked because technically that metal is still touching that, but for cleaner cuts, it's supposed to be clamped directly on there. I can't believe I forgot that, but we're good. Doesn't really matter because these aren't very like aesthetically important, but just to use the magnetic chuck, we're gonna use the magnetic chuck. You can see there's just some leftover dross and kind of just ugliness left over from the plasma cutter. So what we do, toss it on the chuck, and then we crank that soldier boy, and now it's on there because it's a magnet now. Then we can just go over it with this and just bam, 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 and clean it up and get it ready to weld. See, it just gets all the dross off of it and then grinds it down a little bit so we can weld it. Boom, boom, and boom. I think we're nearing the finish line, but we still have a long ways to go. I can see the finish line at least. This isn't hugely important because I mean that's what goes into those holes, so it's underground, as you could say. It's not gonna get seen, but it looks like 3. Weird. What a weird number. Let's just do 4 inches, and then I don't remember how far I sleeved that smaller tube into here, but I mean we're welding it regardless, so we can probably get away with what, 2 or 3 inches. I would just shove a whole bunch in there just to be safe. There's a joke to be made there, but we're running low. We are running really low. This is all we have left of that smaller diameter tube, which is what we're looking at, like 18 inches. Okay. We only have 3 legs. One of them's in the ground, so we only need 2 legs for that. 4 inches each. 4 times 2 is 8. Add 3. 7 times 2 is 14. Okay, that makes sense, right? Again, this doesn't have to be crazy accurate, but we're doing 7 inches because 4 of that sticks out like I showed you, and then 3 of it gets sleeved into the actual leg, and then another 7 would be 14. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. You know what? After I marked that, I realized that we can really just cut this in half, so we'll do a little over 9 inches because we're a little over 18 there. We'll just cut that in half and use that. There's no point in saving that little 4-inch section. If anything, the extra material will just add a little bit of weight, which never hurts for a rail, you know? I hope that this all works. Like, it's all making sense in my head. I'll admit though, I have a habit. You guys even saw it in the last video, part 1 of this. Everything will make sense, but then when I go to actually put it together, I'll realize that there was one measurement wrong, or I did something wrong, you know? And given the fact that was our last piece of that smaller tubing, I probably should have measured twice, cut once, but whatever. Fingers crossed. Can't cross. I have to do it with my other hand. I have to like physically cross them, but you get the point. Thank you. Alright, I think it is finally time for the assembly and then welding. I haven't welded anything in a really long time, and I want to practice first on just some scrap metal. That's how long it's been. I don't even remember which gas is which, bro. I gotta wheel this on over here to the welder. These are kind of heavy. Alright, we have argon, and we have 75-25 argon and carbon dioxide. This is the one we want for MIG welding. It's kind of concerning, like, how much I forgot. I wonder if that's just, like, my brain or if that's relatively normal, because it's not like riding a bike. I forget everything. Turn that bad boy on. Open up the gas here. Honestly, I just want to practice on something just for a sec so I can feel like I know what I'm doing. MIG welding should come back a little bit quicker than TIG welding. Like that, I really need to practice for all my fingerboard obstacles again. But we will see. Nah, I remember how to do this. I got this. Remember, I'm not a welder, so as long as my welds work, I really don't care how they look. Okay, I gotta remember how I like rigged everything together to give it that gap. Give me a sec, it'll come back to me. There she is, so you can see, and hear me out. I remember feeling like a genius when I first figured this out. You remember that we can't have any weld bead on the bottom because that sits flush on the top of the bump to bar. I'll just go show you. I'm really just tooting my own horn here because I felt really cool when I came up with this. This sits flush on the surface there, right? Normally I'd go through and weld, you know, around there, but we can't have that because then it wouldn't sit flush on that. So what I I do is I weld it from the top, but you remember there's the 2-inch tubing, there's the smaller tubing, and the plate. So all three of those have to get adhered somehow, which is where I use my massively, insanely large brain to figure this out. I leave a little gap. It's about a 1/8 inch, and then I weld it from the top so it hits the 2-inch tube, the smaller tube, and the plate all in one. The one lesson that I have learned that I do follow and will continue to follow is to just tack weld things first. So instead of going in and just committing, I'm just gonna get it on there on both legs, line everything up and make sure it's good, and then fully finish it. It adds a little bit of work, but a whole lot less than, you know, grinding something that you fully welded. So here goes nothing. Take the magnets off here, and you can see that they are all fused together now. Kind of looks like a sword. Okay. So in theory, that just slips right in there, and this one just slips right in there. We line the notches up. Got our actual rail that we are just gonna set in there for now. This is all just making sure that everything lines up. Oh, there she is, baby. Look at that, dude. Everything fits absolutely perfectly. And there's gonna be that third leg that goes from there all the way down to the ground, obviously. Now, there's a couple ways that I can do this, because the most important thing is that those two legs line up with those pre-existing holes, right? The first thing I could do, I have a gas generator up there that I could wheel down and plug my welder into and just weld everything actually here, you know, not have to take it into the shop. I don't really feel like lugging around the generator. I could go through with a pen and mark right where everything sits and hope that I get it accurate enough when I bring it in there. Or I think I can get lucky with some magnets. Like these. And I just hope that these will be strong enough to transport it. I can tell you right now, this isn't gonna work. I thought I had more magnets, but I only have 2. Yeah, there's no way. Okay, let's go back to option 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. This is pretty important because, again, we really don't have much leeway with these mounting holes. I'm just gonna go through and mark, you know, to the best of my ability exactly where these sit. And now, yeah. Looks good. So you can see we have our perfectly outlined marks where the legs are going to sit. So I'm just gonna plop those in, use the magnets to hold them in place, and then I have this, which we're going to mount to the legs, and that measures the degrees of rotation to make sure they're all perfectly in line. Before I do that though, I know that these are good to fully weld, because right now they're just tacked on. It's gonna be a lot easier to finish those before they're welded to this. So I'm gonna get these fully done. Then I'm gonna go through and weld these to this, and then we're gonna mount that, and then we're gonna put that there and weld that. You following? Good. Okay, before we go any further, I need to make sure it still fits, but I think we're good. Come on, 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 come on. There we go, baby. We are in there. It's been about an hour since I filmed that last clip, and I ran into a predicament that you might have actually seen on camera there. When I let go of the rail, it kind of jiggled back and forth for a quick second, because originally when I made these insert plates, I added drill holes for them to keep them secured. But what I realized was that the tolerance between these little inner tubes and that sleeve that they slide into is so small that unless these have a little bit of wiggle room, it's near impossible to get all three to line up. The thing is, this one has 3 legs like a tripod, so when it's in there, there's no room really, because it's stable like a tripod. What I was running into was with the long rail, the straight rail, there's not that third leg on the side to keep it from rotating. So again, it had a little bit of jiggle to, or kind of a lot of jiggle to it, that would have made it unskatable. So I came up with a conclusion. Is that the word? Hypothesis? fucking idea. Solution, that's the word. I added screws to this end one here. So that one still has wiggle room and this one still has wiggle room. So this can still slide in and out with ease. But when this one is in here, right, we put it in the mounted one and then put it in this one, you can see we need that little wiggle room. There we go. In order to get it in, that one has to slide out like a 16th of an inch, you know? And because that one's screwed in, we do have a little bit more stability. Here's still a little bit loose, but I mean, you're gonna be getting on here, and that's not with the third leg down there. As is, stability-wise, that's skatable. Not optimal, but skatable. So then I got to thinking, right now, all we have as a little foot for that third leg is gonna be that teeny tiny little circle at the bottom, which really isn't gonna offer much like stability, you know? Whereas you take one of the flat bars I made, and not only do you have this big wide base, you also have these gussets, right? I don't think I'll need the gussets because we do have it mounted in the holes over there, but I think I wanna make a bigger base. And because we have the CNC machine, we can get a little bit creative with it. So I made this. It's a star kind of thing, and for no other reason other than it's been a while since I've designed anything in Fusion, and I wanted to see if I remember anything at all. So instead of just doing a generic little circle, it is a 12-inch shape. So it's gonna be, you know, 12 inches. By the way, yeah, that's 12 inches, trust me. I wanna say that thing's only 4. So the bigger base is just gonna offer a little bit more stability, a little bit more weight, and yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that. I have my material grounded this time. I want to use 1/4 inch. That's what I normally use for the feet of the rails, but all I have is this 14 gauge, so it's a little thin, but we brought it into the program, and let's start it up. I was thinking maybe I like paint it a different color so it looks like I don't know. I'm trying to get creative here. There we go. I guess it looks less like a star now and more just like 2 squares combined, but I guess that's really what it is. You can see a size difference of the original base versus that. I think that's just gonna offer a little bit more support and, I don't know, look cooler or not. Maybe it's not gonna do anything, but whatever. We have the base plate centered and lined up with that third leg. And again, I'm just gonna tack it on. I don't wanna fully weld it yet. Once we get that on, we gotta actually attach that to the rail. This is an absolutely insane weapon. Dude, the damage you could inflict with this, oh my god. I gotta chill. All right, what was I doing? Oh yeah. Moment of truth. Oh yeah, that is absolutely perfect, dude. Oh, and that's pretty stable actually. No, that's good, dude. We have like a little bit of movement, but that's not even welded on yet. Yeah, all right, let's get it tacked on. All right, and now it's time for the official final test fit before we finish welding everything. This thing feels pretty crazy to hold, I can tell you that much. All right, and how are we looking? From what I can tell, we are spot on. I'm looking like down the legs and it looks like they're all, you know, perfectly at the same angle, which is always nice. The foot sits flush, or I mean, at least as flush as it can on that ground. Yeah, dude, I mean, I think that's it. It feels pretty damn sturdy too, especially near the end here because that one's screwed in. Kind of just doing one last little look over evaluation, but I think we are ready to finalize all the welds. You can see everything's just tacked on for now, and I want to go through and finish all those, but I think it's time. I'm out of wire. Really? I was so close to being done. When you pull this trigger, that wire in the middle is supposed to come out, but I guess I ran out of wire literally on the last weld. Let's see if that's really what happened here. Yeah, we are out of wire. God damn. I think I have the wrong wire. I have this, which is gasless flux core welding wire. So that's before I had the MIG welder that I have now. It uses the shielding gas to get rid of bubbles and stuff while it's welding. What happens if you use gasless flux core wire with gas? We're gonna find out. It's literally that last side. Like, it'll take 4 seconds. I'm not going to Harbor Freight right now. All right, we have the new wire loaded up. And again, this is the wrong wire, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm sure the welders watching this are cringing, but we're gonna find out. Okay, yeah, it works. It's gonna be a little bit messier, I think, but it'll work. Wow, that is different, all right. I don't want anyone to ever look at these welds. I need to remember to go buy more wire and swap that out because those welds are ugly. Look at all that it threw off there. Oh, right. I think the last thing I'm gonna do that I'm not even gonna bother filming is just grinding the welds smooth because those ones were really ugly. And then make sure everything still fits. It has to, and if it doesn't, that sucks. And ladies and gentlemen, she is officially done, and boy, oh boy, does she fit good. We are so much more stable than I thought. That's almost like, that barely moves at all. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the demonstration of Garrett Ginner's patented extendable, nope, not that word, interchangeable rail technology. As you can see, we have our flat bar installed here, but wait, we don't want to skate the flat bar? No worries. We just pop it on out there, right? Toss this thing to the side. It's trash anyway. You want to skate this? Who doesn't? Alrighty. We just plop it on into the holes like so. Easy as can be. All jokes aside, I gotta toss some lube in that one because it's pretty rusty. I should probably paint it while I'm at it so it doesn't rust more, but sick. So this fits in there. We can pop this one out pretty easily. See if I can get that in easier just for the sake of the video. There we go. That's how it's supposed to work. And then we can just pop that one out. And then we can just go ahead and plop this one in. Just like that. Wow, it worked. Whew, okay. I gotta get this thing painted. Blue is the only color I have that's relatively full, and even that's like, I would say even less than half. I don't even know if this is gonna be enough, but we're gonna try. I mean, I really only care about covering the spots that I welded to protect them from rust. So I'm gonna get all of those first, you know, all up in there. I'm gonna go through all those and hopefully I'll have enough for the actual rail. I think that's all. Oh, a little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah, that is all she wrote. It was just enough to get it done. That thing looks crazy. Alrighty, let's let this thing dry. Oh man, I feel like it came together pretty quick, but it feels like we did way more than we did yesterday for some reason. All right, well, see you guys when it's done. I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but I'm pretty proud of how this came out. Look at her, baby. The blue looks sick. I kind of like the stupid little star we did. I think it adds like a little something to it, because why not? You know what I mean? The height looks perfect. The length looks perfect. Obviously, the goal is more like technical tricks on this one. I'm still thinking of doing a longer one in the future, just like more of a flat bar, like a bump to flat bar. I'm just giving you guys the quick little walk around right now, because dude, that came out so good. Who cares how it looks though? Well, let's skate it. It always feels wrong hitting it with the first wax. It feels like illegal to take such a beautiful beast and taint it already. Oh, dude, I'm actually really surprised at how sturdy it came out. Adding that extra third leg really sturdied it up. All right, here goes nothing. Where do we begin with it? I guess just the 50-50 test, right? That's always my go-to. I am curious to see how it feels. I'm assuming I'm gonna get on like right around there. Oh my god. I'll admit, I think I have a habit of saying this, but this is my favorite obstacle so far. That is perfect. Wow. Hands down, favorite obstacle. Wow. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, bro, but I mean, everything about it feels perfect. If you want it to be a little longer and be able to hold your grind a little longer, just go a little slower and you can pop in right here. If you want to go fast, you're able to get the speed now and still get on the rail here and do a little kiss the rail at the end of it. I'm so hyped on that. Well, shit, all right. Oh, per usual, what I do once I build a new rail is usually after the last episode of building it and like the initial test, I call it there. And then I open the floor up to my channel members to give me some trick requests for the next video, which is like the full session. By the time I'm posting this video, the channel members have already seen the grand reveal before the general public. And I put up a post asking for trick requests for the next video. And if you're interested in joining as a channel member, I have the link down below in the description. I rearranged the tiers a little bit just so I'm offering perks to every tier now, where originally it was just tier 2 and 3 essentially. You can click the link and see what perks are available if you're interested in any of that. I don't want anyone to feel obligated. It is just a way to support me. It pretty much fully funds all these fabrication projects and whatnot, because I don't make enough money strictly from YouTube ad revenue to fund this. A lot of it's out of pocket. So a huge thank you to my channel members for making stuff like this possible. On that note, dude, we're getting better at this, dude. This is only a 2-episode series. I think the last one was 4, the one before that was 5. We're getting quicker. Thank you guys for watching. Looking forward to what you guys asked me to do for the next video. Catch you guys next video. Peace out.